Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, and thank you, club members and honored guests. Yes, my title is Dreams Can Be From God, and my purpose is to encourage you to ask God to communicate with you in dreams, and when you get a dream, pay attention. Two things are crystal clear from Scripture. God does communicate in dreams, and secondly, dreams can be deception and not from God. So Scripture tells us both things. I'm going to focus on dreams that are from God because I think that the teaching on this has been neglected in the church, by and large. And for valid reasons. Many are concerned that it would cause people to be distracted or deceived because, again, dreams can be deceiving and distracting. But I believe that with prayer, understanding of God's character, and with reference to the Scriptures, and with the help of others, it's possible to discern which dreams are from God and to be helped by them. And I think we risk sometimes if we don't pay attention, and I'm going to share from my own experience what I risked by not paying attention. Perhaps the earliest dream recorded in Scripture was God speaking to Abimelech. Now, Abimelech wasn't a believer, really, exactly. And he'd taken Sarah, Abraham's wife, to be his wife because Abraham had said she was his sister. Well, it was a half-truth. She was his half-sister, but he'd married her. But Abimelech didn't know that. And so one night God spoke to Abimelech in a dream and said that, you know, your whole clan is as good as dead because you've taken this woman. You're not going to have any kids. So Abimelech paid attention and he gave the wife back and all that. Well, that was the first dream I can recall in Scripture. Maybe some of you can recall others. The second one I can recall from Scripture was Joseph. He dreamed about the sheaves that were bowing down to his sheaf and the sun, moon, and stars. And then that kind of speaks to me, too, about this whole business of the end times where, you know, old men are going to have dreams and young men see visions. I think it was kind of turned around back then. The young men had the dreams, right, about the great things they were going to do. Anyway, so there we are with some dreams in Scripture. And, of course, another Joseph had some very important dreams where he was warned to take Mary and the baby to Egypt. And later on, he had another dream telling him when it was okay to come back. So those are at least some references to Scripture. Why should we care about dreams today? Because God is love, and any communication from God is for our benefit. And if He chooses to communicate with us in a dream, let's at least consider that possibility and pay some attention. In 1989, about July, I had a dream that I was in a hospital, my left leg was in traction, and my left hip was broken. And that dream went on and on and on. I dreamed about the doctor, the hospital. It just was one of those I was there, incredibly intense. And when I woke up, I said, boy, I had this incredibly intense dream about being in the hospital. And then I forgot about it and went back to sleep. Well, you know, months went by, and then toward the end of November, I had another dream. I dreamed that my motorcycle was parked in a garage, covered over, and out of service, just sitting there. And I mentioned that to my sister Eunice, and she said, well, maybe you shouldn't ride your bike for a few days. And I said, oh, you know, it's just, dreams are symbolic. You know, the motorcycle represents something, you know. So I just went ahead and rode it. Well, 3 days later, I had a motorcycle accident. I went down, I got run over by an 18-wheeler. And there I was in the hospital having deja vu because of the other dream. So I don't think that God gave me these dreams to tell me what would happen, but rather to warn me what could happen if I didn't do something to avoid it. However, I didn't pay attention, and it happened. And since 1989, having learned from that painful experience, I've done a little better. Many months ago, I was having trouble with phlebitis in my left leg, and my sister said, well, you know, maybe you shouldn't just take aspirin, maybe you should stay home from work. And I thought, oh, I think I'm hearing God. And so I paid attention. She said, I'm afraid you could end up in the hospital. I paid attention. I stayed home from work, and in fact, she came and cared for me, and things were better. But she had a dream a little bit later about me, you know, being in the hospital and uncommunicative, you know, in a coma, and eventually dying. And so she said, Daniel, I had this dream. What's this dream all about? And I prayed and asked the Lord. And you see, the dream drives me to prayer. I want to tell you that. So what happened then was that I found out that's what would have happened if I hadn't paid attention. So in these dreams, God has been confirming to me what I've been hearing from him while I'm awake. And he's used these dreams over the years, I think, to help me hear him better when I'm awake. So I'd like to say that dreams can do many things. They can teach us, they can warn us, they can comfort us, they can encourage us, and they can drive us to prayer. So I want to encourage you to ask God to communicate with you in your dreams and to pay attention to them. Thank you.